Hello Internet, welcome back to Watch with Joe. It is time for the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, wow, I have so much, the levels of excitement and nervous energy are very high right now. I'm almost shaking. I'm that excited and nervous. I've had such a great time with this show. Um, I see little bits of hate about it online, but I put that down to some people not liking Disney Star Wars and complaining because it's Disney Star Wars. But there we go. They like to nitpick about things. I'm not going to nitpick about things. One in particular I see is Qui-Gon couldn't survive being stabbed with a lightsaber, so how can Reva do it? And how can the Grand Inquisitor do it? Well, to that I say this very salient fact. If you're annoyed about that, you should be annoyed about the fact that Darth Maul got cut in half and survived. Stop nitpicking and enjoy the story. Thank you. That's been my TED Talk. Anyway, end of last episode, we were left with Reva's true intentions being out in the open. She didn't want power. She wanted revenge on Vader. She was a Padawan. She was at the temple on the night of Order 66. Tragic, but then she used the dark side. She turned to the dark side because, as we know, as we've heard many times, I believe, in Star Wars, revenge is not the Jedi way. So she turned away from the Jedi. She did unspeakable acts to get revenge, to get close to Vader and get revenge. With the Force, it is incredibly emotionally intuitive, and you can a lot of what the Force powers we see throughout the series is detecting the emotions of people around us. Why do I keep talking about us? It's them connecting with it's detecting the emotions of people around them. I can't believe she thought she had fooled Vader and the Grand Inquisitor. It was foolish, and in the end, it got her. Obi-Wan really returning to a Jedi way of thinking. He's not just thinking about getting Leia away and staying hidden. He's out in the open now as a Jedi in this environment with the wind. It's a closed environment. It's not like in the streets, but he is a Jedi. He is protecting the people, or trying to protect the people. And I love that he's really reconnecting with the Force. He's not the levels he was, but you feel that he is accepting his place in the universe again, and not hiding away from the fact that he's not hiding from the Force anymore, if that makes sense. I don't know if any of this is making sense. It makes sense to me. That scene of Vader just grabbing the ship out of the sky and pulling it back down, that was so cool. And it's just the power of Vader. I love seeing that showcase, because we didn't really get to see much of that in the original trilogy, but we have seen bits of it in Rebels. We've seen bits of Anakin's power in Clone Wars. Well, we've seen lots of it, but yeah, this is the power of Lord Vader, and that's really cool to see. Just a really cool episode. Oh god, I do really love this show. So we're left off at the end of the episode. Sorry, I'm jumping around all over the place today. I'm just so much nervous energy. At the end of the episode, Reva is injured, but she also now knows about Luke, which is very troublesome. She's going to try and use Luke to get to Vader. Well, probably it's Luke to get to Obi-Wan to get to Vader. So yeah, that's not good. Obi-Wan and Leia have escaped with a good proportion of the other people trying to flee the Empire. They did manage to get away because they were sneaky and used the second ship while Vader was pulling down the first. I assume they remotely piloted it or was a droid piloting that ship. But that was cool. The Grand Inquisitor is back. I knew he had to be because of he canonically in canon he dies in Rebels. Like I've been saying since that death scene, he's got to be in a Bacta tank somewhere, and I'm sure he was in a Bacta tank for a little bit. Yeah, because we know we've seen his demise at the hands of Ezra and Kanan. So we're all set up very nicely for the finale. Have a feeling it's going to be multi-planetary. One planet to get Leia and the rest of the people away from the Empire, and then back to Tatooine, and maybe the final fight is on Tatooine. But I hope it's not, because I would prefer Vader never to step foot on Tatooine again. I still think we're going to see Qui-Gon in this episode. Whether it's an actual Force ghost of Qui-Gon or we just hear his voice. But I really think at the end of this episode will be when Obi-Wan connects with his old master. At least I hope. He's got to, right? He's got to. Anyway, I've talked long enough. Enough talk, enough chat. Time to get down to the episode. It's the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Here we go. God, I'm so nervous. Oh! Oh God, they've got no light speed. Oh!
Motivator shot. Power couplings are bad. I'm working on it, but those shields won't last forever.
How much time do you need?
More than we have.
What are you gonna... Obi-Wan's gonna do something drastic. I think Obi-Wan's gonna leave Leia with these guys, let them escape, and he's gonna go somewhere else so that Vader will follow him. It'd make the most sense to me anyway.
You've spent 10 years protecting the Jedi. This is my chance to return that favor.
I knew he was going to do it. It's the only plan that made sense.
Go on in.
Oh, I've finally seen Baru.
Go on.
How did she know it was here?
I don't know. All I know is she's coming. Ben is gone.
Whose fault is that? She'll come when the suns go down. Best we get positioned now.
Oh, I love this woman.
If anything goes wrong, you know what to do. You run.
I'm not afraid.
I know. Everything's gonna be fine.
You will be. Couldn't resist. My nerves are right on the edge here. This is it. This is the big fight. Hey, Reva.
That's the perimeter. She's here.
Oh, wow.
Have you come to destroy me, Obi-Wan?
I will do what I must.
Yes! Yes!
Then you will die.
Let us not forget, he is a master. It's Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. He is not just some Jedi Knight. He was a member of the Council and a Master Jedi. He is powerful. We've got to remember these things. Obi-Wan is just a bit more agile than Vader for obvious reasons.
Your strength has returned,
Indeed it has.
but the weakness still remains.
This is so good.
And that is why you will always lose. Did you truly think that you could defeat me? You have failed, Master.
Don't tell me that was it. I want more. That can't be it.
You really love the boy. Like he's your own.
He is my own.
Oh, Uncle Owen.
You cannot run, Obi-Wan. You should have revealed you made me.
Yes! That's the strength of a Master Jedi. Yes! Woo! Yes! Oh my god, it's amazing! Oh yes! This is the way to defeat Vader. You gotta disable his equipment and then you can beat him. Because that's his weakness. Yes! Oh wow!
Anakin. I'm sorry, Anakin. For all of it.
I am not your failure,
Obi-Wan.
You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did.
And my friend is truly dead.
Yeah. Oh, that was perfect. That was perfect. That was absolutely everything I wanted and needed from that fight. That was perfect. Oh, wow. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Luke.
small and I couldn't do it. Have I become him?
No. You've chosen not to.
Interesting. I really thought that she'd have a final fight with the Grand Inquisitor.
You seem agitated, my friend.
He will not evade me again.
I wonder if your thoughts are clear on this, Lord Vader. Perhaps your feelings for your old master have left you weakened.
Oh.
If your past cannot be overcome,
Kenobi means nothing. I serve only you, my master.
And that's why he gave up the search, to prove that Obi-Wan didn't mean anything to him anymore. This is all making so much sense. Oh, they did get to meet one more time. That's good.
Will I ever see you again?
Maybe.
This is their final meeting.
Someday. If you ever need help from a tired old man. Goodbye, princess. May the Force be with you.
Oh, this is Obi-Wan. This is the real Obi-Wan now. He wasn't before, but now he's back. This can't be the end. We've got to have a Qui-Gon moment, please. Please.
You want to meet him?
Hello there.
You said the thing. Qui-Gon.
Master Qui-Gon.
Well, took you long. Come on, you've got a ways to go.
Yes! Oh. That was perfect. So, that was the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I've got to say, that was brilliant. I got everything I wanted from that finale because it did everything right. Let's start with the fight. This was the return, not quite at the beginning, but you saw how much of his skills had returned at the beginning. He was able to hold his own pretty much against Vader. So Obi-Wan's skills did return, and that's good start. Vader getting the upper hand makes perfect sense. Obi-Wan reconnecting, finding the strength within himself and the strength of his task was brilliant. His fight tactic in that second half of the fight, going after Vader's breathing apparatus and feeding apparatus and all the electronic on the box and the mask, is the way to beat Vader. We've seen it in Rebels. We've seen it in video games. Of course, they're not. Those video game fights aren't canon anymore, but we have seen it before. That if you take out the box or you take out the mask, he is weakened, and we know this. So the tactic for that fight was brilliant, and it proves who remained the master because he got the upper hand. It also, this whole series and this fight cements what Obi-Wan said, that he's more machine now than man, which is great. The fight was perfectly done. I'm so happy that it was perfectly done. It wasn't the flamboyant, showy fight of Revenge of the Sith, but it was a very good fight, and it shows the Force skills of them, and that at the end with just his arms out, pelting Vader was brilliant. It was a great fight. I was so happy. I mean, I would still like to see one of those really like fluid fights that we got in the prequel trilogy. We haven't had that in a single. We've had quite they're heavy, and it's a lot of there's a lot of weight to the fights. There's not. I wouldn't say no, but there's not the same fluidity that we saw in those prequel fights, and I would like to see that at some point in the Disney era of Star Wars. Yeah, I would like to see one of those expansive, flowing it's the jumps and things which not getting basically. I hope that we get it one day. We didn't get it in this one, but we got a different fight, but a fight that worked for the characters involved, because Vader can't do the aerial kind of fighting anymore because of the limitations of the suit and his prosthetics. And oh God. As much as people will want it to have been something similar to the Revenge of the Sith fight, this worked brilliantly. I was so happy with it. As you can probably tell, I'm just so happy with it. The Leia part of the story made complete sense. I think I called it last episode. I definitely called it at the beginning of this one. I think I called it for a couple ones. At some point, they would have to split up so that Vader followed Obi-Wan and she could get away, and that's what happened. And I do like that it's given Leia a certain strength, which it's just a nod to her future character, and we saw so many of the personality traits that Leia has when we meet her again later in her story. She has that strength. She has that compassion, and we did see it throughout the series and in this episode. And I'm very happy that they did that. The Reva bits, I would have liked to see her fight the Grand Inquisitor. I understand why they did this version of a sort of redemption, her turning away from the path she was on, is good. I wasn't completely sold on it, but it worked. We got the Qui-Gon moment. I was so happy. It came just when I thought it was going to come. It was the last bit of the episode of the series. That made so much sense. He needed to reconnect with the Force and himself before he could connect with Qui-Gon. We did get something I think is very important. Vader wanting to continue to chase after Obi-Wan, but not because of the Emperor questioning his loyalty, basically. questioning why that he has the need, and him basically saying, "You're still holding on to Anakin," and that's why Vader doesn't chase after him. I think that's very important because now we know why Vader doesn't continue to chase him after the fight and why he's left alone by the time we get to episode 4. A lot of the parts of this story connect wonderfully to episode 4. It also connects to something that's bugged me since I first saw episode 4, and that's Leia saying, "Ben Kenobi, where is he?" In the hologram message, she refers to him as General Kenobi and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So this is why she knows of Ben Kenobi. And it's also why she names her son Ben, which never made sense to me before. Because she wasn't connected with Ben. Why would she? It would make sense for Luke to name a child Ben, but not Leia. But now it makes sense. No show is ever perfect. I will never say that. But this was very close to exactly what I wanted. The only one thing I didn't get was a Clone Wars flashback with Anakin and Obi-Wan in their Clone Wars armor / Jedi robe type thing. That's the only thing I didn't get. But I am so happy. I loved this show. I loved it. One other thing I wanted to talk about was the music, and I think that Natalie Holt did a wonderful job in this show. Obviously, she didn't do the theme. That was John Williams, and no Star Wars composer will ever do what John Williams has done for the franchise as far as music is concerned. But I think she did a great job of weaving in the theme that John Williams composed and the themes from the prequels and the sequels and the original, well, not the sequel, sorry, the prequels and the original trilogy, and also not relying completely on those previous themes. Like I said, John Williams will never be surpassed as far as Star Wars music is concerned. As far as film work is concerned, he'll never probably be surpassed. But he is getting on, and we can't expect him to do every single Star Wars project. So we have to look to other composers, and Ludwig Göransson, who does the Mandalorian music, has created a wonderful sound for that, for that show, and Natalie Holt did a wonderful job in this show, just like she did with Loki. I just want to say that I was so worried going into this series. Like, I'm worried about a lot of shows I go into and films I go into now, because I'm so connected to the lore. I hate to use that word. That I'm so connected with the story of the entire franchise. I'm like that with Marvel. I'm like that with Star Wars. I get nervous about going into these shows because I'm worried about where the story's going, and if they get the story right. They got the story right. I'm happy. I am very happy. And we left in a good spot. Oh. And that's it for this episode of Watch with Joe. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and comment below. All those things help me grow the channel so I can continue to do this for you, the internet. Tell me what you thought of the whole series of Obi-Wan Kenobi and this finale. Are you happy like me? I hope you are. I hope you got what you wanted from the show. And I will see you in the next episode.